Good morning, my beautiful people. So I thought I'd actually take a break so I can work. And you might ask, what the hell kind of work is it you're doing since you're taking a break so you can work? Yeah. So one thing is true about Scorpios. When we made up our mind, it's going to take a lot to stop us. So since 19th of November, now the 3 last days, I suppose. Now it's like, I don't know, very early in the morning. And we've been listening to the new neighbors snoring and shagging and smoking, and my God, delicious. It's amazing. So, you know, I won't feel too bad from stepping my toes out of this place. So I thought, you know, let's keep the channel up going until this specific task I'm working on now is done. I cannot relax before that thing is done. But we need to take a break. We need to think about back. We need to think about the head, think about something else. And I thought, you know, there are many channels who do general reads. And if you hook onto them, you would be amazed on how much they actually resonate. So obviously I haven't investigated this one far enough as much as I want. But there are busy things ahead. Bags are being packed. Stuff needs to be done. And meanwhile, we are now going to have a cozy time just reading the cards. There are I don't know how you feel it, if it's a Scorpio thing. I know there are some Mercury retrograde thing going on. I don't know if Mars is going retrograde, but there's a lot of stuff going on now. And things that normally should, you know, I've always been a little bit iffy when it comes to paperwork. But now, this kind of paperwork is like making the military seem like a Rastafari vacation, you know, in comparison. It's paperwork from hell. And I told you before that we can only learn from suffering. Do I suffer? Well, you could say as much as there are things going on. And when there is a wall ahead of you, instead of thinking, oh, there is a hall ahead of me, and then you realize, okay, there are many walls around you, there's an entire labyrinth, there are mirrors on them. There's only one thing you can do. You can follow one direction, which is to the right, unless they're filled with mirrors. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Or instead of thinking about the word problem, try to see that, okay, there's a hole in the wall there, or, you know, trim your brain a little bit. So in this process where we do not possess any laptop, which would make this task done a long time ago, we have to do it like Stone Age style. And so this is not about me and what I'm doing. The reason I tell this is because it literally feels like every time you click on something, it's error, you know. And then you want to convert a file, oh, it's error. And then you want to send the file over and you want to bypass something, do it like this and this and this and this. Oh, it's another error. And then you need to, you know, it's beyond It's beyond. It's like, it's not a coincidence. This is, maybe it's personal for me because of the situation I'm in, where I'm being tested in regards to my patients. So I'm like, okay, very cute of you. Very cute of you. Fuck you, but I love you still. Yes, yes, this is cool. We are learning a lot from this. We do learn a lot from things, situation like this. Although my old me would have thrown the galaxy in the wall and it would crash. Oh yeah, oh yeah. But as we are learning more about programs like Canva and what is it about? Well, it's only about simplicity. It's all about converting a PDF file. And have you ever experienced converting a PDF file, and then as soon as it being, stacked on your computer, it turns into a JPEG file? And we found a solution to that. But it had some flaws, of course. So that's what we've been doing now for 2-3 days. And hopefully it will come to an end soon. In the meanwhile, we'll just have to endure this freak show and look back and have a good laugh. If it really goes to hell, I'm going to walk around in hell with high heels, and I'm going to claim the throne there. All right, so that is the energies that I feel operating right now. I don't know if you felt something similar, but it depends a little bit on you. Because if you're, if I chose to be a slacker and to stay around here and just watch Netflix, I would probably not be met with the same issue. Maybe the television went off, but okay, I go off and do something else, But when you have a goal and you want something with your life, and you know that you need to climb that ladder, and there are many ladders, and no matter where you step your foot, you slide. No matter what ladder you climb, you fall. No matter button you push, it explodes. I don't know if you ever experienced something like that. I have never experienced in my entire life, as a graphic designer and publisher with my background, so many errors. And is it because I work from a Galaxy tab? I don't know, but it should seriously not be that weird. It's really weird. So that's why I thought, okay, let's ask the tarot cards and see if this is something that goes for all of you. If you feel that something is weird, something's in the air, something is trying to, you walk and, oh, there's a banana peel, And of course you had to be the one slipping on it. So yeah, what is the banana peel about? And what is the collective? So I'm going to channel. Okay, I'm going to channel energies, and one day, if you want, I can teach you a little bit how to channel and how mystery people like me do it, and how we actually decrypt certain kind of information which is around you, right in front of your nose, absolutely all the time. So the energies that we are facing now, collective, is a little bit unfinished business with someone maybe across the world. And yeah, I feel that. The tiger and the lamb is so beautiful. They say the chosen ones, they will follow the lamb. And when I told you, I've been around for a while, and I've been your victim. used many masks to test your head, to test your heart. Literally sometimes put something in your hand to check out your vibrations, to see. Basically, you could think of us, this group collective, which we work with, some of us, as the watchers in a sense, and you all send back information to the Akashic archive, but not all of you are aware of it. So those of you who are aware of it, chosen ones, that's something, a pretty vague terminology. That's something you need to find out on your own. What is that? All I can say is that it's a topic where you are the black sheep. You've been seen as the wolf, but you carry a specific light like Prometheus, and you want to give this. And that doesn't make you more important than the rest of the world. But although you follow the lamb, you follow the light of innocence, because truth to be told, when you see something, that is why these so-called chosen ones, or this specific group, we have blue rays, so it depends a little bit on what group you belong to. You could belong to different kind of groups, but there's specific one group that are incapable of killing. We can't kill. My group are incapable of killing. It's even like the tiniest bug. So that's why we say the chosen one follows the lamb. That's Bible terminology, how they come from the Veda. And yet, you are like the tiger. When you set limits, when you wake up to who you truly are, and when you truly understand who you really are. Someone the other day, another card reader, they called some of us the walking Buddha. And I thought, yeah, I'm not sure I want to claim myself anything like that kind of status. It's not really important. But many readers now seeing that there are a lot of you out there who are going through a pretty profound transformation. And so when I'm fiddling with these files, I have to work with new energies that are being represented to me. And at the same time, I have to be tested. And it's not about being tested. It's basically the universe saying, you need to do those push-ups so you can become stronger, to be more fit to handle the new world. And that is the tiger being at peace with the lamb. So the snake and the egg is interesting, because I've asked many of you, what's inside the egg? And that's something I look forward to reveal to you another day. Apparently here, it's the serpent. And the serpent has so many meanings to it. We know what a serpent is. It's poison. And now, for those of you who haven't heard about Amon Hillman, there is a pretty large pile of information when it comes to the serpent poison that was used apparently as a recreational substance. And that's another story, but the point here was to die. And in many cultures, this idea of dying is very important. And that's what Scorpios especially are about. That's why Scorpios are very fascinated by death, because every time your life breaks apart and you fall down and you die, or you can also die through having a psychedelic experience. Like, I'm not going to, disclaimer here, I'm not encouraging you to do any kind of stuff, But the whole point here is that you need to understand what death is. Because if you don't understand that you are a part of the simulation, and when you step out of this so-called ionic field or out of time, you will be met by something that could freak the shit out of you, which it's written a lot about in the Tibetan Book of the Dead. However, take with a pinch of salt. It's not the original. It's just, think of it as a small taste, a tiny chocolate piece, and it's also the translation, lost in translation, a lot of that. But the thing is, Joe Rogan talks a lot about the jesters, and they will test you, and they will freak you out, and your ego will fall apart. And in so many ways, the snake represents the ego. But it also represents the very secret, the secret of the fluid which is in your pineal gland, which is the very stem of the tree of life, because you are the tree of life, literally, in a sense. And yeah, I had a good laugh the other day. There is a channel, I'll try and find it for you. They're talking about the exact same thing as me when it comes to Saturn, the cube, and all these things. And he didn't get why. Hey, he said, why is this tree? Why is the roots up in the air? And he got really confused. And I had a good laugh, because those who have eyes to see, they will know exactly why the roots are reversed. And so you can think about it, or you can do your research, and you'll find out exactly why the roots are reversed. There are, in fact, a lot of things here in this verse which are reversed. Talking about Prometheus, you see the two pillars of light here. So Prometheus, he was punished, being naughty, for wanting to share the fire with humanity. And I think it was Zeus punished him big time. Zeus wasn't really a very nice guy, thinking about like that. And the same, I've talked to you a lot about Azazel. Why is he being demonized when the most known god in the entire world is responsible for killing 30 million people? That's something you can read upon for yourself in the most read books in the world, the Abrahamic religion. So while we glorify this God as a saint, despite virgin sacrifice, despite blood sacrifice, despite all those people dying because they are profane, and he's a jealous God, and they shall not have other gods than me, which kind of implies that, oh, so there are other gods. What are you talking about, So that is also why I'm on, and people like me, we are joking a little bit, and we say, hail Satan, because most people don't understand the construct of Satan. Satan is emissary. Satan is something saturated. It's dense. It's Saturn. The devil is just the evil. It's an entity which is basically evil. It has nothing to do with Satan at all. Satan, the devil, that's, a pretty modern construct. And then we have Lucifer, which is far, far much older than the Bible itself, and reality is a feminine energy. So what we are talking about now is that most of you now have your chance, because now we are entering 2025 and we can feel that the energies are changing profoundly. Even those who previously had no sense of spirituality at all, they have to admit that, oh, there is something weird going on. The egg, in this case, represents a new beginning. And the snakes, in this sense, also you can see the same here. We're having a victory, we have the world, we have completion. It's the Kundalini rising. Okay? So when it comes out like this, simply means that there could be unfinished business. If it's a literal sense, it means that, okay, unfinished business somewhere else in the world. So let's have a look at what is going on. I'm going to go down the walk again and play with cards that are usual to me. They have a snake in them, which is a queen, and I thought, snakes, they're for bikers, they should have an owl. But I find these cards so interesting that they mixed the moon and the sword, the mind and the emotions. Basically the Vedic philosophy, where the moon symbolizes the mind, while in the West it symbolizes emotions. Emotions, the oceans, the water, illusions, secrets and dreams. And so here it is, I'm not going to read that book. I'm just going to use my beautiful intuition. And do we have the Lovers here? And do we have the Temperance here? Sagittarius and Gemini energy. And what do you know? For those of you who have been listening, paid attention a little bit, the blue dress. The blue dress is very important now. If you don't know why yet, you will know. Just like what's up with the egg. We also see a very scary flower here. I think that's Datura. And that is not a psychedelic. I know it's growing a lot in Bovali or Nainital, or in the mountains of India. I also purchased one here. Don't eat those seeds. They are delirium. They are deadly at best. There is no best. Just don't eat them. But she's symbolizing something very dangerous here at the same time. Blue is elevation of consciousness, and her hair here being white as snow is this innocence. And she's achieved a level which is beyond that of the devil spell or the Datura. So while the Lovers here, the Gemini card here is coming out alone, that's just a mystery for me. But she's red-headed, she's wild, she's still, pixie, vixen, little bit of a witch. So let's see, what is it that the collective need to know right now? So hopefully, I have promised you a free spread, but when I'm in a situation like this where you should see my face when I'm trying to convert Oh, the methods I've been using, you'd laugh your ass off. But one thing you can't complain about is Scorpio stamina. I mean, I said, if I can dance 17 hours straight, 13 years old, no drugs involved, I can certainly sit on my ass for a couple of days working with these files. So yeah, that's life, guys. And that is too carbonizing. That is two obstacles. And you can see it as, okay, maybe I'll get a job at Donald Trump and I'm done here. Or, you know, at least you will learn a great deal about files and, you know, maybe become the nerd afterwards, you know. So yeah, don't take negativity as something negative, although you might feel frustrated. Try to calm down and say, what is this? And focus on the positive. Here the justice is popping up as a siren. And she holds the sword because the sword is the truth, right? It's the truth. And so we already know, I've shown you before, that the heart, raven feather, yeah, absolutely. The heart needs to be more lighter than the feather, at least like as a feather, in order for you to enter the next verse or the next level of awareness. Because where focus goes, energy flows. So if you turn off all negativity in regards to, you know, I wanted to tell my moms, turn off the TV in regards to, oh, Norway's going back into the 30s. That will happen if you focus on, you know, on poop and shit and all crap. That's going to be your reality. So how much can you impact the reality? Well, that's your muscle that you need to train. So here we have something that says justice will be served. The time now, it's not the judgment card, but whatever you are up against, justice will be served. Someone here will get their karma. If they've done you dirty, if there is unfinished business, if they've done you dirty, they will get their karma. And for those of you who really have the heart here, it's not going to affect you, but we can't escape hard work. All right, if we're going to have strong muscle and a strong mind, you need to be the captain of your own ship. I told you this before. Enough with the masks and testing you. It's over now. I've seen what is, and it's enough. I come forward out of the closet and say, hey, I'm all of that. I'm Queen of Swords. I'm this, and I'm that. And in the end of it all, we are in fact, and so are you, but you might not be aware of it, but you are in fact a group, a group collective, which is the reason we often refer to we. Not because we are superior, but we experience that there are many entities, your forefathers, your ancestors, who are in fact impacting you and your awareness, your consciousness right now. And this could explain why you sometimes ping pong back and forward. You can't always make up your mind, which is typical Libra, by the way. And it could also explain why you all of a sudden can't believe how you would do something so crazy last week or a year ago. Because you are operated by a collective consciousness. That's how it is. And so when you can start to observe it instead of trying to fight it, there will be less chaos in your little pirate ship, you know. So here we have something a little bit snaky, a little bit dark, which is being held back from you, but still it's sliding out slowly. I'm tempted to hold this back right here, because there is something here, a feeling, could be an illusion, and the way is, you know, it is reversed, so I'm just gonna do this. So, but yeah, I'm gonna let you see. So yeah, here you see, he's looking away. He doesn't really own up to what he or she have done. It's very important now that you don't go into that collective energy where you say, you know, oh, people are always so mean to me. Why am I always the target? Why am I always the black sheep? I've tested that. And I did say it out loud. Because, first of all, you can't believe that someone would do these things. And so you want to know, where is your heart in this? Where is your stand in this? Where is your take in this? And when we finally come back to the temple, to the mountain, to the garden, and we report back and we show them the files, and we say, this is what we've seen and we've done now, testing out people in regards to, why do people treat me like this? Why are people so mean to me? Well, that's because I'm beautiful people. That's because. And that's a pretty long conversation, actually. But when you understand the entire construct, which has nothing to do with the blue dress, that's just a play. That's just for fun. When you understand the simulation, and I'm not saying, oh, you are Neo, oh, you fixed the Matrix, oh, Raven here, she thinks she's Neo. It's not about that at all. Because we have tiny, tiny awakenings through our lifetimes. I was literally 22 when I, all of a sudden, in the classroom, I got this lightning stroke that said, oh my God, I am the universe thinking. I am literally the universe who is, and the universe is thinking, and you know, it was so intense, that feeling. And then slowly learn that you are in fart. You are in fart, yes, of course. maybe some of you are flatulent. If you have problems with that, I can't help you. When you are in fact a co-creator, when you start understand that, you don't want to go around and focus on negativity. Because if you don't take if you don't take control over your own ship, someone else will do it. And they are going to bitch you around, trust me. And you won't understand what the hell is going on here. And there are many things you're not aware of. Here, there is something leaking out, like small dribbles, like almost like a leak in the wall. Like skeletons, if there's a skeleton hidden in the wall there, there's a creepy little thing there, it's not been properly concealed, so it's getting this red, wet spot, and it smells a little bit. But they don't want to take the accountability for that. And so that means that that's not your problem. You're not the one that should go in there and say, hey, you need to take accountability for doing this and this and that. No, that's not your job. Your job is to keep your own ship up. And like I said before, instead of feeding people with fish, teach them how to fish, although we don't eat fish here, but that's the allegory here. Okay, so temperance in reversed, that simply means we have a parrot on the loose. There is a disconnection here with the divine. And I have to admit, when I sit with those computer files and my head stands in the air, turns grey, and you get a skin rush, and you're saying mantras instead of mantras, it's really not that bad. It's really not that bad, but if I was really, really young, so this is a direct disconnection to your divine feminine, to compassion. This is someone here who have no control over the powers you possess, because she is quiet, because especially the English language is creating distortion. That's why we should take time to listen more to maybe just music without necessarily lyrics, and practice more speaking the language, mantras, and learning the hand language. Mudras is very beautiful, but I don't know if they also consist of some kind of alphabet. You can also write, of course, but everything that fills your mind with a lot of words, and you find yourself blah, 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 talking to yourself, you're having conversation with other entities that are in your head, they're kind of disturbing your focus. Okay? And that's opposite of what you want. You want to stay in focus. That's the blue. It's even above the heart chakra now. Okay? And we came to a pretty scary realization where I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong about that. But if it's true, you need to understand that there are a lot of forces out there which are negatively, well, let's just call a spade for a spade, tuned. Basically, most humans are in some kind of self-sabotage mode, procrastination, do it later, only certain kind of people are allowed to make it, and so forth and so forth, making a lot of excuses in order not to really follow that streamline. She is out of focus. Okay, you see the moon here also. She is not out of focus. She's very, like Mercury, although, Mercury is Hermes, so he's a hermaphrodite. He's, he's the Libra, So she, on the other hand, she's the spiritual, ascendant, divine, feminine. And now that part of you is disconnected. Some of you are being tested by literally being disconnected. Or perhaps you are stubborn as me and say, I'm going to do that. And I'm not even sure if the universe is saying red light or if it simply is a test in regards to my mental stamina. In last part, I pass. It comes to listen to the red lights. I'm not good at that. I take my chances as Mario Bros and I dodge them. That's not something I would recommend, by the way. So we have 2 of moons. Let's see if they are upright. They can be a little bit confusing. Yeah, doesn't matter. These cards are special. So 2 of moons, that can be 2 of swords. It's a choice, okay? It can also be 2 of cups. 2 people coming together and creating something beautiful together. This is the fusion of 2 forces, just like we see the 2 snakes there, just like we see the lamb and the tiger, 2 different opposing forces coming together. Here, it's like, as you can see, it's like this twin energy. Twin. I'm trying to move away from the terminology, but it's popping up so often that it's like, yeah, but you should know this. You should know this at least. So this is basically Libra energy and it's Cancerian energy, Mercury in Cancer. So this could be some of you choosing to take each other's hand and say, we'll work through this. Sometimes it could be an engagement. But the moon itself do represents intuition. And so, well, there is a group here who is not really, I'm not who, could be the cross watchers, who is not taking responsibility for action they have done. And they look at the high priestess and they blame her and they say that, she is the black sheep. And that could also be the reason for some of you that really are the high priest, more or less. We always will fall out a little bit, just like we exercise and we sometimes hit the toe. But here we see someone looking at some of you with this guilt trip. kind of energy. You need to understand that guilt tripping people is not nice. Actually, I said something to someone, and I have to apologize for this if they watch. That's like, you know, I'm ordering a ticket to India, but I could have a computer for that. And it was actually meant as a compliment. Like, how much this meant to me to travel and be with you guys and having your company and these things. It was meant as a compliment. But I realized afterwards it could be mistaken as like guilt tripping. I could have had a computer now, but because of you and this thing, I need to be here, blah, blah, blah. And that's not nice. And I've seen subtly some people trying to put that on me. And I simply turn my head away and I won't hear it. Especially in a situation, there is specifically one of you who invited yourself into my life. I never sent out the invitation. And so you bring gifts, thank you. And I'm doing my best to be nice in return. But there's more specifically one of you. You were never invited, right? And because of my, oh, poor little thing, I never really threw you out either. And maybe I should do that, crush this stupidity of creating an illusion that when Raven comes to me, everything will come true. Some kind of idea about that, and that is putting a lot of pressure onto someone else. And what also you're saying is that you're incapable of accumulating beauty and happiness within you, because that's where it is. And so when people ask me about twin flame and partners and all these things, first of all, you need to, I'm not saying, when I say making love to yourself, I'm not saying buying a bunch of probes and having fun like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about falling in love with yourself, and integrate. If you're a feminine, integrate the divine masculine. If you're a masculine, integrate the divine feminine. And be both, living in one body. Share that one body. And love both without any, frames. Like, because you and I are together, it's expected of you to please me in this manner. This is the reason, especially in the West, most couples, they walk away from each other, because you put expectations into the other, in like, if you're gonna be with me, you have to be like this and this and this and that. No, it's not like that. So that's why I moved on to the twin flame, and I said that's actually a construct which I easily more can relate to, because that's already one soul in two bodies. And if you truly are in love with yourself and can love yourself and accumulate those emotions, you won't waste your energy in trying to change the other one. You can only change or elevate the other one by being an example. And see, like, I've noticed, that when You know, if one partner is exercising a lot and eating healthy food, the chances that the other one will follow along somehow in more or less is pretty big. Because it's the unspoken word that rumbles much more than the dictation. Because the dictation, I hate it when you wear those shoes. I hate it. Someone would come and I hate it when you wear those jewelries. I hate it when you have that black khayal. And I'm saying, yeah, well, good thing you are not the one that you know, no one's forcing you to do it then. So, and if you hate so many things about me, why don't you go and hang out with someone else? I am Jack Sparrow, and if you don't like him, walk away, you know? So that's how life is. You can't be with someone and start hating them, you know, hate the shoes they wear, or try to limit, take away their freedom to expand. You're supposed to nourish each other and support each other. And if one comes with a brilliant idea and the other one looks away, I've experienced that. Someone looks away and like, no, that doesn't look interesting, and you know, and be met with sarcasm. And then they see, well, it's working. You know, it's working. And so when you want to be with someone as a friend, as a lover, or in partnership, there is a certain code. And that is, you are the yellow rose, I am the red. I am the pink rose. I'm withering a little bit because I'm older. My thorns are a little bigger on the orange rose, says it. But just be careful when you pluck me and it won't hurt, right? All of you out there are flowers and trees and bees and beautiful beings of light. And you're supposed to have a little bit dark in you, because that's what you carry into this world in order to train how to ignite, like Prometheus said. Each and every one of you are your own Prometheus. And so when you sit and wait for your Savior and Lord Jesus, nothing will happen. Because this energy, this specific light is yours alone. You can't put someone else, you can't say to someone else that, or expect that someone else, you know, oh, he went through all this suffering, so I don't have to burn in hell. And I accept Jesus, you know. No one are here to save you. Sorry, man. You're on your own. And that's good for you. Because you are only one. You are only one. So who are all these other people around you? Who are they? That's a good question, isn't it? Well, many of them, a lot of them are here to make trouble for you to become a better fighter. Some of them here are here to bring light into your heart so you can see what you want to do with it when you grow up. You know, I grew up with both love, light, but also with darkness and negativity and anger and abuse. But because someone showed me love and light, is the reason I can sit here today and say, we are all Prometheus. We are all Christ. Okay? What you have ahead of you now is a pretty big transformation. Okay? She's badass. We just came out of Halloween and here she is, Death, Scorpio energy. And some of you are resisting this transformation. I'm literally kicking the door out. So as a Scorpio, I'm doing the opposite. I'm kicking the door out because I want that transformation. There's still things in life that we all need to let go, because if it wasn't so, we wouldn't sit here. But no one is going to punish you for being human except you and the ones you allow to do that. If you give them attention, you kind of validate their attacks on you. Spiritual attacks, mental attacks, physical attacks, verbal attacks. We've all been there. And I've told you about it. Wearing different kinds of masks. Only my aunt, and my cousin, they laugh. Because they've known me since I was a child and said, if people knew Raven, she's been an actor her entire life. Because when you open up to that light within you, you're no longer submissive to the emotions as much more. Slowly, you would think of those emotions as masks and dresses and costumes. So all of a sudden you have a wardrobe. So when you are in a situation, you first you will observe and you will think and you will observe the pattern, and you will make a decision. I will say, what if I put on this costume and I play out this role? Because if people don't know yet that we are on stage and we are reading from the script of Shakespeare, if you still don't know that, it's time that you know. And if you refuse to understand that, well, then I'm going to play along. And I might be the jester one day. I might be, a space alien the other day. I might be someone who is urging for your love and validation another day. And when the day is over, we take off those masks and we put them back in the wardrobe. And now that we've done that part, it's time to say, are you the one who is the captain of your ship? Are you the one who, or are there other pirates on your ship messing your ship up and telling you how you should steer your own ship and going down into that, I don't know if you've seen Stardust, and was it Dustin Hoffman? No, another guy. Yeah, the Italian guy, and his beautiful wardrobe on that boat. So we all have a wardrobe like that. Some of you choose the same uniform each day. The business uniform. Someone's got the witch's uniform. Personally, one of my favorites are the long black robe for some reason. I think it's maybe the Raven programming, or the black hoodie. But because it doesn't serve us very well, psychology wise, we say that, okay, today we will be you know, the work for the social security, or today we will be working for the tax department, and so we'll bring on a different kind of jacket and have a different kind of suit, simply because, oh, so you're manipulative. You all are playing a role, and the clothes you wear, I hate to break it to you guys, but they're all costumes, and it's Halloween every day. Think about it, just a little bit. For those of you who simply just bring them on because it's so cold, and man, I don't care. I don't care what I'm wearing. So I just want to, keep my balls warm and have hot socks and shit like that. Yeah, if accessible and not much else, would you wear a pink dress and high heels if you know that it would warm you and make your day brighter? Besides, people would look at you with like, you're a little weird, but yeah, we accept what people say. You can deny it all you like, but in most situations, the clothes you pick are your costumes. The way you choose to respond is your mask. And the people you choose to associate with are the ones that fuel you with energy or drain you of energy. Tell me who your friends are, and I'll tell you who you are. It's a saying, and very often, unfortunately, that's true. And we attract very often quite depressive people because we feel comfortable around them, because that's all we know. So here we have the Lovers, which is only one woman. I'll check out these cards a little bit more, but for now we'll read as one. Here she's alone, and she seems a little bit, she's very fertile. It's a lot of green, and she definitely have powers. She's coming out as an amateur. So for me, I feel that this is a very virgin-like energy, okay? And she's recently discovered her powers. Maybe she's hiding a little bit in shame because she doesn't understand what's going on. She's turning into a woman. It's something about that I get. There's a lot of green there, and so in so many ways she represents the child of the earth. There's so much more Virgo energy and Aries energy than just, maybe even Gemini, than just Gemini. But yeah. Ginger is seen as witches usually. I can tell you so much that it's not really very true. I know a lot of gingers, and just like people with rhesus negative blood, they are not superior to people with plus blood. And my entire family's got rhesus negative, and they are just as much monkey as anyone else. There are so many people who like to say that, oh, I've got reptilian blood or Anunnaki blood because it's rhesus negative, blah blah, I'm very special. Yeah, sorry, no. No, you're not. So that would be your soul imprint, and that will be your own neurons. That would be, you can literally grow new neurons and pathways by simply shifting focus on who you are in regards to who you think you are, and so forth and so forth. So when the grandfather of a friend of mine, he would grow a new vein around his heart. he's a Leo, and he rules the heart, and you know, he wanted to live so much. I refused to die, and so he grew a new vein. Let's just grow a new vein. So yeah, I'm not saying you should mistreat your body because of that, but be amazed, darling, by beautiful people. Be amazed. So here we have 10 of swords, also 10 of cups. And I feel like that in this case, this is if you can let something go here which no longer serve you, serve the greater good. And this is in the recent past. You chose maybe to let something go so you could start enjoying your life. You literally, by saying, you know, I no longer are in need of this crap, so I'm now going to let this go. And by letting this go, you create space. If I smash away all the crap on this table, I all of a sudden have room for something more pure, for something more clean, for something more nice, right? And so some of you did that. I did that, actually. I said, I'm not going to go into that now because I'm still in the middle of it, you know. But I did that. I'm not going to be specific, but I set something loose. I let something go. And that's when I felt this peace. Something that had high value for me. I said, you know, wasting my life on grieving how to obtain it back or treasure hunting or whatever, it's no point, because it's nothing. And it's nothing in compared to what you as Prometheus can create. And that's when I had the strangest dream about a beautiful tree, and below that tree it was filled with eggs like this, but they would also be like this, it's called geodes, that they would have this glimmer. Some of them will be cracked, and inside that they would have this shiny mineral stuff. And I was like, oh my god, I want to, because then I let go, right? And I would immediately, it was like transferred to that place where this stuff I want to let go is. And so I wanted to pick all those eggs because, oh, beautiful minerals and crystals and treasures, you know, like, oh, you know, that was kind of a little bit sneakiness to it. Then this woman, Amma, she was like Amma, the Indian Amma, with this shawl around her head, a little bit older, she could be 60. She just looked at me and she just nodded her head. You know, she didn't need to say anything. She said, no. They don't belong to you. They belong where they are. Exactly where they are. And so you can interpret that as you want. But also another thing, if you think about it, the way people are ravishing the planet now in order to get giant crystals, and so they can sculpture swans and eagles and all sorts of tacky things out of them, instead of, you know, this is a moderate little thing, right? Think a little bit about it, that maybe there was something to that dream. And many people say you shouldn't really crack Mother Earth open like that and start running off with her body parts like that. Yeah. So Mother Earth, she's alive. She's very much alive. The crowning energy here is 6 of Cups. 6. So some of you have now some kind of journey ahead of you, and it could be for you to meet a soulmate, someone you love very much. This is 6 of Cups. This is Sun in Scorpio. This is also 6 of Swords, air energy. So this is leaving something behind. Maybe this 10 of Swords, and now you have this abundant inside of you, and you're now prepared to move ahead to the next level of wherever you go. And so we have 6 here. The soulmate is here. The lovers is here. Right? So love could enter your life right now. Some kind of love. We also see here the 2 of Cups and the 10 of Cups. Some of you could have a major love situation appearing into your life right now, because you reached that level of awareness where you don't try to tell the other snake that, you know, you're occupying so much space around this egg. Move a little bit ahead. Okay, so let's see. Talking about 6 of Cups. Here they are again. So yes, I fused basically the moon here with Swords. And so I can rest my case that some of you have love coming in. Some of you have a lover, and you know them, and you're going to travel towards them, or cross-watch the other way around. And that could be the unfinished business in regards to the world. Okay. And you're going, for some of you, it's a twin flame journey. You're going to share your light, from one Prometheus to another. And there is, you know, this area now is the age of the awakening of many twin flames out there. However, it's an extremely tough path, and you have to go through that separation period in order to have that space. You meet, you give each other light, and you're being forcefully usually separated. And it can also be pretty tough getting back together. But for some reason, there is this pull, this push and this pull, which you can't explain. It's different than what you ever experienced with someone else. It's different because, yeah, he's not like me, or she's not like me. I'm a jazz musician, and you know, she's cowboy, you know. But the level of awareness in regards to spirituality is the same. You share this same blueprint of frequency, the oversoul. Some will go as far and say that you are the same soul, incarnating twice in the same time. And the most normal sign is the female, being the oldest one. Personally, I went away from the entire idea of twins because I couldn't imagine incarnating twice on Earth, you know. But I'm constantly being bombarded with the knowledge, and I think maybe because I am super Libra in the sidereal chart, I am basically, a tiny little love goddess. I love love, I love beauty. I'm super romantic, but I never really tell, because I have this dry sense of humor. I make fart sounds when people are kissing after a movie, if it's getting too cheesy. I'm like that, oh, the demon falls in love with the angel kind of romantic, not the classic romantic, but I'm obsessed with beauty, with love, with peace, with otherworldly kind of love. And so I thought, okay, as a sidereal Libra, 5 placements in Libra, maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. That tell you that when it's time and when it's not time, and give you that guidance you need in order to create more beauty in your life. And you need to understand that you have 2 choices. You can repel or you can attract. You can repel or you can be, there's this place called magnetize yourself. You can choose between being magnetic. It doesn't matter how you look like, where you're from. You could choose between being magnetic or being repellent. And that is why I said to you, there is one person who is repellent. Why? Because he clings onto your energies like a leech and he's sucking you dry. Like a billion of mosquitoes, and it's even no matter how much light you have, it's like, can't you go and generate your own light, for fuck's sake? It's having, this constant nagging of needing my validation, It's not very magnetic, so to speak. So the outside influences now is the moon. And I think this is such a beautiful way of showing the moon. This is, I was just told that look out for the owl, because now the owl have a special message. There's also something about Hecate here. And again, we see Prometheus and we see the snakes. So the snakes are usually the queens in this deck. There is also something about the fox spirit here. So take a closer look at that. So this is the moon, and this is probably one of the coolest moon cards I've ever seen. The moon have 3 different stages, which is shown by 3 different phases, and we see that a lot. I just saw on the Indian government paperwork, they've got 3 lions, 3 lion heads. 2 lions, the lion's gate literally means true love, actually. Lion, what is the lion? Well, here we have the owl. The owl sees in the dark. So this is coming in the moon. Something, it could be that whatever is going on now is still being kept in the dark. And I feel that some of you could be a little bit thrilled about it. When it comes to the twin, it's usually the divine feminine who is older. Okay? And so, yeah, I've been asked a lot of questions in regards to the twin flame, and yes, as a 13-year-old, I did read a lot of housewife porn, and not to mention the ice people and the warlock. Also, magic and housewife porn. But yeah, thing is that if I happen to have the knowledge and a natural understanding, it's because I've been through all those suffering processes. Even I didn't understand why a woman would go back to someone who abused them. I understand now. I just had to experience it for myself. What kind of bond you are creating to the abuser. And it only takes 2-3 weeks before you have such a close bond to the abuser. It's so easy and it's so arrogant to think that, no one can manipulate me. No one, I would never be someone who's stupid. Some people attract abusers. It's a pattern because that's how they are wired together, and that's why you need to change your habits, even if it's beginning with, you eat Twix every day. Okay, next day just start with black chocolate. Small steps, changing the way you see yourself, changing the way you talk to yourself, changing, one day one sit up, one push up. Change the little things. The moon here is exceptionally important. She has a special message. You also here have 8 of coins. So many of you now are working very hard towards a goal. I'm proud to say I recently stepped into Capricorn. So it would really be cool to have this ceremony where I get to dress in black, Saturn's black, and you put on some antlers on my head. Wouldn't it be cool? Yeah, I've always been a little bit obsessed with the horned god like Slain from Pat Mills, Pan, Dionysus. But in reality, these gods and that time, that Greek period, it was a lot of filth connected to that, which I don't want anything to do with it. But the aesthetics and the beauty and the self-empowerment, if for me, taking upon me those hypothetically Capricorn horns is for me now stepping in as a progressive. The planets move, so progressively I'm now in Capricorn with Mercury and with the Sun. So automatically I'm turning all my knowledge that I've gained my entire life into a livelihood. And I can teach you how to do the same. Because we do have a responsibility when it comes to sharing knowledge. Whatever you're here for, whatever you have, the question is not what can you take, the question is what can you give. The more you can give, the more you will get. Okay. So in your hopes and fears, I prefer to take this card as oh, sorry about that. I hope, yeah. Hard work. The more we can, what was it? Give versus take is the, yeah. And 8 is also a very transformational process. So This is a big transformation going on. Hey, Frida Kahlo is singing the trumpet. Someone here is not listening to a higher calling. Someone here are disconnected from the intuition, and they don't want to listen to a higher calling that they have. They're turning their back towards the new world. It could be someone you're dealing with. This is a warning. Okay? This is a warning. And who is Frida Kahlo? Well, go and check out her pictures. She was pretty brave. You know, a woman being equally as famous as Picasso and drawing surrealism. I've seen her pictures close up with my own eyes. The woman is herself. She's a tiny little goddess. Placing her there with the trumpet is exactly where she belongs. She was Cancerian, by the way. So also moon energy, although this card is Scorpionic. It's Judgment Day, it's Pluto. So there is something for you now. You need to listen. And what is your purpose? Well, what is it that you love to do more than anything except torturing others and animals and destroying stuff? If that's the case, join the military. But what is it that you love to do? That's your mission. We automatically learn a lot about the things we love to fiddle with. And from there we gain knowledge and skills, and from there again, that's our Promethean light. That's what we share. Oh, I thought we were talking about the High Priestess here, but this is in fact the High Priestess. This changes the entire situation here. Because she is certainly in connection. So that's my mistake. But yeah, absolutely. No. This is Sagittarius energy. So, but it's still in reversed. So it's a form of imbalance. It could be liquid imbalance, and it could be some form of imbalance in regards to higher. So in a way it is the same in that sense that it's about lack of higher awareness, about your awareness, about how aware you are. And how become more aware? Well, start with your breathing and then listen to the sounds around you, and then be present in every move you make. And don't rush off and be at the kitchen before you actually are there. So yeah, she's actually a representative of Archangel Michael. And yes, Sagittarius energy. And so the Datura here makes it even more interesting, because it shows, you know, I've been checking out this crazy eccentric professor here, who is studying ancient pharmacy from Greek. He's translating the texts, and what he has to say is so ludicrous that I don't think I want to talk about it right now. But yet again, he's hilarious, so you should check him out and make up your own opinion about it. But remember, it kind of makes sense if you put two and two together. Anyway, apologies for this. You actually are coming out, all of you, with a beautiful connection to your intuition. Some of you are really old souls. So for myself, I can see that, yeah, my liquid balance is not really good. I'm shedding skin like a snake, literally. And so The fluids in my body are not in balance, my own Padawans. But your intuition is beautiful. And I love the way she embraces the black swans. The black sheep is also a sheep. You know. But just because it's black, you know, this is where the scapegoat comes in, and that's why I love bringing up the Azazel theme. Many would accuse me of, oh, you do Azazel magic or magic with dark magic, blah blah blah. You know, most of it is just fun. Let's be children again, right? But yeah, I have in my past attracted succubi-like entity. So that's why last time when I demonstrated for you, I wrote half, I just wrote 2 or 3 letters, and then I stopped the candle. Because first and foremost, if I want love in my life, I want it not to be something that I artificially created. I've done that before, and that was a massive drama. But you know, you can do love magic in that sense that, like in feng shui, for example, they say that if you put a red light in the window, you will attract a lover. So I don't feel there's so much bad to that, and as long as there's no blood sacrifice involved, you know, it all depends. Being a huge fan of Azazel is being a fan of someone who gave us the ability to learn how to look beautiful, you know, to pimp us up in dresses and put makeup on, and learn us, you know, Parashuram in India. He was elevated for teaching the South Indians martial art, you know. He was an avatar of Vishnu, I believe. And he wasn't demonized for learning people martial art and how to yield weapons. Azazel was, however. Right? So do you worship the devil because you are grateful? Because we all wear bling. We all have a little bit mascara on. We all like to do our hair. And these are gifts from Azazel. Was he a real dude? I have no clue, but I know he's connected to Saturn. And Saturn, that's also Sunidev, Shani, and, well, Dark Lord. Okay, so we have 3 of Swords, 3 of Wands, and 3 of Swords, 3 of Cups. There could be a third party here that you have to deal with. It's coming up twice. There is something about the serpent and the moon and the egg, something about when the moon is new, okay? There is something there. It's like a ritual. It's like ritual. What you don't see here, you might expect a message from someone, and it's not coming in. It's not coming in. And so the advice here for me is that during the full moon, you should do a cleansing ritual here. And for once, that is a celebration. Someone could be left out in regards to a wedding, a celebration, something in that direction. And I see that there is big disappointment attached to that, but it won't take long before the sun is coming back into your life, depending on your awareness and your openness in this. And I see some of you going into a very deep, deep meditation here. Sex, knee. Okay, so we are dealing with a lot of wounded people here. So yes, about the moon, I suppose the next new moon is what I feel. When the moon is black, I'm not sure what sign it is in next time. I would check that out. And so if it is in a fixed sign, that's the magic or the ritual or whatever you want to do, then summon, talk to the gods, or just install yourself, that's, it's like if you want to wed someone, Libra energy or fixed energy to make the wedding stable. So maybe cusp, Libra, Scorpio. Vaxing just a little bit. I was born during the black moon eclipse. Maybe that's why I'm obsessed with black, I don't know. But the black moon is a portal where something new is coming into the world, right? And so I see that there is something about free here. And it needs to be cleansed because someone here are not being seen properly. It could be a former lover. It could be someone that, are being completely ignored because she's standing out. She's not like everyone else. Red hair, orange hair. The witch, she looks wicked, with the aggressive colors, but she is the Mata I spoke to you about in that dream. And she guards those holy stones, and she guards that tree. So she looked at me, and she looked at me and she said, with her mind, like, you know better, you're not supposed to do that. And that's the same with Aladdin when he goes into that treasure chamber, and the sorcerer says, don't touch anything. Now, why would you touch anything? Because the lamp itself has everything. And same goes for you, my beautiful people. You have everything. You do. And whatever you desire also desires you. But you need to detach from expectations. But if you don't communicate properly with the one you love, or with people, and especially when you're sending messages towards each other on Facebook and all these things, the tone is coming out different. There's so many misunderstandings. So if you truly want to be in communication with someone, take time to let them hear your voice. Because if I write these things to you now, and you read the things I tell you, it will be a flat tone, right? It could be a beautiful narrative, but the beautiful narrative is when you hear me, you hear that I'm in a good place. I'm not the aggressor. I possess an energy which is very beautiful, which I want to share with you, right? And I see so many times that it's difficult to communicate with each other from afar if you only there are so many misunderstandings, and there are so many difficulties in regards to, well, am I ghosted? Am I ignored? You know, overthinking these things. So this is the time for you to go back into you and only you, and that's not being selfish, because you're building your own tower so others don't have to. And that tower, the old tower, needs to go, so you can build your new tower and take charge over your own UFO or ship or whatever you want to fly, right? Because if you don't, you will be the sheep. So the question is, do you want to be the leader of your life, or do you want to be running after someone's tail? The fox's tail. Okay. I do see a very clingy feminine energy. It could be a mother energy. Okay. Be a little bit aware of that. There's a lot of love from her. There's a lot of compassion. Okay. But she's also poisonous. A snake is a snake. Do you not forget that you are a snake, and we are all snakes in one way or another. We have the poison, but we also have the antidote. And if you know someone who are being left out because they're not like you, I did invite someone into my club one time, and I had to learn the hard way. It was the reason she wasn't invited. And she would worship me like a god because I included her. But what I learned is that don't let people, you know, if you accept too much, you know, you need to set a limit on how much you let people into your life. But because at some point I noticed that they slowly coming closer and closer and closer, and next moment you have a dictator by your side, and that is this energy here. Okay, when she goes dark, man or a female, spiders, many legs holding around you. Pretty cute one though, right? So that's something I've noticed a lot, that you know, there are two kinds of people. There are many kinds of people, but there are some people who love you for being you. Okay, they love you for being you. They always see that beautiful light, you know. This one is young. She's wondering why can't I be with you guys? This one is old and wise and found her balance in life as an alchemist. And she's done Datura, which means she died and came back to life. And just like Shiva with the blue hair, she, you know, she was her own antidote here. All right, guys. This was deep. This was sexy. I miss you so much, guys. I have to go back to my little project and Om Namah Shivaya. Let's hope it. Let's hope my magical powers will last through the weekend. I love you so much, guys, and I hope to see you soon. If this storm is slowing a little bit down, I don't have to bury myself in .jetpack files and PDF files and rub my nose up against that Galaxy tab. I hopefully will see you again soon, maybe even face to face. Anyway, we are on a journey again. I love you so much. Where are we going? That's yet to see. Catch you on the flap side. Catch you on the flap side. Catch you on the flip side. Love you.